for Fanboy Explosion, a podcast of awesomeness, a chance to grow your mind. Your speakers are now playing Fanboy Explosion.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Fanboy Explosion. I am Seth Turner.
And I'm Cameron Cook.
And this weekend's episode of the Patch Notes is brought to you in part by Dinosaurs. Lots of really fun dinosaur news this week. We'll get to that later on. But first off, let me ask you, Cameron, how was your week? Tell me about your week. How's it going?
Well, my week was pretty good. It was pretty boring overall, I would say. But there were a couple interesting things that happened. Well, one of them was kind of sad. One of the comics I follow, I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and one of the comics I follow regularly is Godzilla Rulers of Earth.
Let's stop for a moment and just take a moment to reiterate how big of a Godzilla fan you are.
I have actually, I'm so big a fan that I actually bought another Godzilla bust this week.
Oh, good.
Actually,
to add to the shrine.
So the shrine is my Godzilla shrine, which consists of various Godzilla action figures and statues and hero clicks and just about any. Also, Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim shares that the shrine.
Kaiju.
Yeah, it's generally a kaiju shrine, but I've officially run out of space. So that's how big of a Godzilla fan I am. But yeah, I follow Godzilla Rulers of Earth. And they officially announced that it is going to be going away after, I think it's issue 25, which is a couple more issues. I think it's going to finish its run in the summer. It will have been the longest running Godzilla comic.
Well, that's good.
In IDW history, at least. I'm not sure about Marvel. Marvel used to have the rights to Godzilla comics. So that was a little sad. It's always a fun comic to read. You know, it's not like a super elaborate story or anything like that. But the art by Matt Frank, it's fantastic. You come for the monster battles, and you know he's such a big fan that he knows kind of what everyone wants to see. Like the first couple issues of the series is like classic Godzilla battling the 1998 Roland Emmerich Godzilla, which has been renamed Zilla, and it's an awesome fight. He actually makes like Zilla, the one from 1998, like which all hardcore Godzilla fans, most of them hate that guy.
Hardcore Godzilla fans,
they hate that movie because you know it was very different and it wasn't really a Godzilla film. But Matt Frank manages to make it really cool. It makes that fight really exciting, and you actually kind of like Zilla after that. So it's a cool comic, and I'm sad to see it go. So I'll have to find something else to replace it with. But they'll still be doing. IDW still has the rights to Godzilla. They'll be doing other Godzilla comics down the line, I'm sure. So
yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is did they have any other future plans for Godzilla?
Well, yeah, they do different like mini series. Just Rulers of Earth was the only like ongoing one they had. So who knows if they'll do another ongoing or if they'll just keep doing miniseries.
Yeah, but, Godzilla's in an interesting spot right now in the United States because of the success of the previous movie. And so I wonder if Toho's going to take a different marketing approach in the United States compared to worldwide. Do you think that like Godzilla will have a different, even though it's the same creature, do you think they'll have a different approach? Like, do you think they'll make more movie tie-in kind of comics and things like that in the future? Or
well, Legendary has their own comic company, and it's called Legendary Comics. So they own the rights to like the new Godzilla, like Godzilla 2013 or 2014. So they can make comics around that specific like version. IDW has the rights to all the old monsters and like old Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
And then, but Toho, who does they do the Japanese Godzilla movies. They announced they're going to be making a new Japanese Godzilla movie, which is going to be separate from the American one. So things are going to get pretty confusing pretty fast. There's going to be like two different ones going at the same time, which is really interesting.
We're about to shake up the Godzilla canon.
But I mean, you know, as a fan who didn't know if we would ever get any more Godzilla movies, I mean, that's super exciting.
That's cool. Do they know a time frame for that yet?
I think they said 2016.
Oh, cool.
Sometime for the Japanese one. And then, of course, Godzilla 2, the American one, with Gareth Edwards directing. I don't remember, actually. 2017, 2018, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Because he's doing it after he works on the standalone Star Wars movie, which is what Edwards is working on right now. So.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, as far as comics goes, you got that Star Wars series that just started. They have a couple of spin-off, I think Princess Leia and Darth Vader. So maybe those can move in and kind of replace that gap.
Yeah, I will be following the Star Wars comic, which we actually both managed to get a copy.
Yeah.
I know we talked about a couple weeks ago how we couldn't find one. Well, you managed to find one. You bought me one.
Oh, yeah.
So we both have a copy now.
It's awesome.
Let's talk about that, actually. I don't know when else we'll talk about it. Let's just talk about it right now.
Yeah, let's do
Even
it.
though this is kind of our weekly recap portion, we'll break the mold and
we
just
both
talk
read it. Well, we both kind of read it in the past week, so I think it's appropriate.
Yeah. Okay, so you're like, I'm the huge Godzilla fan. I like Star Wars. You're the bigger Star Wars fan. I mean,
yes.
Your handle online is Darth Turner, so
I talked about
feel
how
like you're
Crix Madine made a huge impact on my childhood.
So I think you're more qualified to start this discussion. So what did you like about the Star Wars #1?
So when I was
did you like it? I
guess I thoroughly liked it. I'm excited to see where the series goes. As soon as I started reading it, I had this huge question mark. I'm like, how do you approach this? Like where are they going to start in rebuilding the Star Wars canon? And I don't think that they could have picked a better spot than between episodes 4 and 5. I will not spoil any part of the comic for anyone who has not read it yet, but basic time frame is between 4 and 5. So it's that period after the Death Star blows up, but before the Rebel Alliance really has faces, like before they know, like Darth Vader knows who these key players are, who Luke and Han and all that are. So I think they picked a really cool time to start with the Star Wars comic. I mean, as far as it goes, it's pretty action-packed, but one of the things that I really liked about it is that it really captured what Star Wars was about. Like, just the banter back and forth, like plans going wrong, just clever, like on-the-fly thinking from, Han Solo and Princess Leia, and then Luke just, like being there and like kind of being this like beacon of almost like he's like, you can tell he's a leader, but he's not quite there yet. He hasn't reached that leadership role yet, and so Han's kind of filling that role in the meantime. But I think the comic has set up for an amazing story arc, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm fully impressed and look forward to following it.
Yeah, that's why I think that time period is so interesting, is because the characters aren't they aren't the ones we know and love quite yet.
Yeah.
Like, Luke he's learning what it means to be a Jedi. He's kind of embracing that Jedi way a little more. Han Solo still doesn't even know if he's really with the Rebel Alliance. He's just kind of there still.
Yeah.
He hasn't like officially sworn his allegiance. He's not flying his Rebel colors quite yet. Which they kind of actually talk about that a little bit in the comic, him throwing his hat in with the Rebels again, what that means to have the Empire on his back and like known that he works with the Alliance.
Yeah.
But the writing, I was really impressed. I mean, the art and everything is great. I was just really impressed with the writing. Just like you said, the banter. Specifically, a lot of the banter between Han and C-3PO.
It's great.
It's fantastic. It's just so good. It just feels Star Wars, and it made me just smile and laugh like out loud. It was so great, and it felt like it could have come straight from like one of the movies. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing where it goes next. And I mean, the first issue was a great start, but Dark Horse worked on Star Wars comics for a really long time. They explored the points between the movies. They explored after the movies. They explored before the movies. So Marvel right now is just focusing on kind of filling in the blanks between the core trilogy of films. So it'll be interesting to see as we get further into this, towards the end of the year and next year, what new Star Wars comics are there going to be? Is there going to be, Old Republic ones? Or are there going to be ones probably centered around the time period of Episode 7 is what I imagine.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to explore.
Yeah, I mean, this specific arc, we always know from the films that Luke is kind of a kid in Episode 4, and then in Episode 5, all of a sudden he has a scar on his face, and he looks much more like battered. And when Dark Horse had the reins, they like a lot of that was kind of filled in. There was lots of comics, but now that has been wiped clean, and so now they have to go back and see like what happened between, like how does Luke get the crap beat out of him, because he does. Between Episodes 4 and 5, I'm really excited to see their approach on that. And I'm really excited to see Darth Vader, because this is the time frame when Darth Vader is still he's always super menacing, but once Return of the Jedi rolls around, then, it's more about confronting Darth than it is about avoiding him. But yeah, Darth Vader shows up and everyone is stop, do not attack him, do not engage. As soon as he shows up, everyone is just they fear him, just the Sith Lord he is. So I'm really excited to see how they do all this. It's going to be a really interesting comic. So I'm glad we got a chance to talk about that. So
yeah. Okay, so we'll get back on track now.
Yeah.
So how was your week?
My week
What'd you
was
do this week?
A lot of Final Cut Pro. I did a lot of editing of videos. If you just listen to the podcast, you should know that we have a YouTube channel as well, and this was the first week we really hit that hard. I think we had a video up every day this week except for Thursday, quite honestly, just because I needed a break. And but a lot of this week was spent either doing that or playing the games we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, if you haven't already, head over to youtube.com/fanboyexplosion. Check out our videos. Leave us the comments for what you like, what you don't like. Give us the thumbs ups. Subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, definitely check that out. That's been most of what my week has been, other than playing the games that we're going to probably talk about right now, which when I ask, what have you been playing this week? So, because we've both been playing about the same thing.
Yeah, we have been playing some similar stuff. So I'm going to start with something that I know you haven't played, which is Codename S.T.E.A.M, which good. I talked about previously on the podcast. It's for the 3DS. It's from the makers of Fire Emblem and Advance Wars, who I love to death. And I actually got a demo, so this isn't the full game. It's a demo. I got a demo code for it. And so I played a little bit of that the other night. It's a pretty long demo, and you go through the couple tutorial missions, and then you have a couple real missions that kind of you test what you learned. And I'm really impressed. It looks at first I was kind of hesitant because it's turn-based strategy, but it's like a turn-based strategy third-person shooter, kind of like Valkyria Chronicles if you've ever played that. That's how it plays, and it's got this really weird alternate American history comic book art style that is very difficult to explain.
Yeah, it's a very American game in a lot of its tone and design.
We'll say the Japanese interpretation of American,
which
is
that's what I mean,
Tom Sawyer, Abraham Lincoln, these other kind of folk heroes. All fighting aliens. Yep. It's just super zany. It doesn't make any sense really, but the graphics don't look like that much when you're looking at the screenshots, but in motion the game looks a lot better than I think the screens don't do it justice really. But it's really about the gameplay, and I mean the gameplay is fantastic. Like I said, it plays a lot like Valkyria Chronicles, but it has some interesting mechanics. Basically, all your troops they use steam, and that's when you shoot your weapon, that uses steam. When you move, that uses steam. So you only have so much steam per turn for you to use per character. And what I really liked is that you can kind of manipulate how you use your steam. So you can say move forward a couple spots, and that'll use a little bit of steam, and then you can shoot at the enemy, which will use some more steam. But then you can back up, And if you go backwards, it like regains some of the steam you lost when you moved forward. So you can kind of manipulate that, so you can like pop out behind a corner and like take a shot at someone, and then like go back, and you still have some resources you can use, which is really interesting. And I actually really like that, because it doesn't lock you in. If you move to a spot that you maybe didn't mean to, or you didn't really think that decision through, and you just kind of moved, and you're like, well, crap, I'm stuck here. I'm gonna get hit really hard next round by the enemy. But it kind of gives you a little backup. You know, you have a way out, which I think is really cool. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing the full version of that. I expect good things, and the demo definitely whetted my appetite for more. So I'm waiting for that to come out in March.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting, because you're right. The getting trapped in a bad spot was something that happened a couple times when I was playing XCOM. And
yeah,
it's interesting that they give you that kind of out. So and I also, from what I understand, depending on the different characters you choose, affects how much Steam you have access to. And
I'm not sure, actually.
Okay.
Well, you only get two. You only have two characters in the demo.
Oh,
you have
okay.
like Henry Fleming and John Henry Irons.
Ah, okay.
Now they each have unique weapons which do different things. So Henry has like a grenade launcher, which can destroy, like large areas. It can destroy some cover and stuff like that. Whereas Fleming, he has like a rifle, which you can shoot at people from longer distances, and just works, kind of like a standard rifle. So all the characters have like different abilities and strengths and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not sure about the Steam. That might be true, that people have different amounts of Steam. I don't know.
Well, that sounds really interesting. Yeah, we'll have to pick that out when March rolls around and when it comes out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I will be talking about it a lot more.
Now, we've both been playing another game.
Wait, do what?
We've both been playing another game, and I don't think that it would be easy to guess if we asked someone to guess, but we've both been playing Titanfall.
We have, yeah. Well, you already had it on Xbox.
I got it
We
from the
both
bundle.
have it on PC.
Yeah, I had it on PC, got it in the bundle for Xbox One, but it went on sale this week, and I think you jumped on that.
Yeah, so I bought the game and all the DLC for like $12. A really good deal.
Yeah, and I got the season pass.
Yeah, when Titanfall came out, I think we both played it a pretty decent amount. But we just weren't very impressed by it, I don't think. I think it's a really solid game, but there's just not enough content there. So we kind of stopped playing. But coming back, I was actually really surprised how much fun it was, and then also how much new kind of systems were in place, which they added through these free updates.
Yeah, because we
months
haven't
after the
followed
game
the
came out.
updates at all.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of new stuff. And I bought it because we both have Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And we've been playing some, and I don't know, it's not doing much for me. I don't really know how to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different game than any other Call of Duties, and a lot of people like that about it. But the mobility it's a different thing, and you have to get used to it. But as I was playing Titanfall last night, I felt that the mobility in Titanfall, while you're not quite as mobile because you don't have like the air boosts and things like that.
Well, you don't have like the dash.
Yeah, you don't have the
ability.
dash. You just have a double jump. But I felt it worked really well, especially considering you have kind of the wall run, more parkour-like abilities. It felt like I was more flowing through the environment rather than just dashing around it.
I agree. I think playing Advanced Warfare and coming back makes me appreciate what Titanfall actually did really well, which is just that core gameplay of the wall running, the jumping, the Titans. Like, it's really well done. And I think the problem is it just didn't, when it came out, it didn't have enough guns, it didn't have enough maps. Hell, you couldn't even rename your custom classes when the game launched.
Yeah.
You couldn't even, everything was custom 1 through 5. You couldn't even name them.
Yeah, but you can now.
But you can now, and so it was baffling that a lot of the stuff that is in place now wasn't there at launch. But I think they did make good on kind of fixing it, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, and that's kind of, I think, going to be my go-to shooter, really, until probably Halo 5 comes out. I mean...
Oh, wow.
Well, no, what other shooters are coming out before then?
You're right about that. There's not a whole lot.
Besides Battlefield.
There's Order 1886, but that's, a PS4 exclusive, so...
Yeah, that's not a shooter. I mean, it's kind of a shooter, but...
Yeah, like action shooter.
I mean, Battlefield Hardline comes out,
Hardline, but I'm sure a lot of people
we're not huge Battlefield people, really.
Now, this is the most interesting looking one. There is a beta coming up on February the 3rd through the 8th, but and I may play it during that, but there would have to be a big... We played the earlier alpha or beta, whatever it was, and it was just... I was like, okay, cool, it's more Battlefield.
I mean, it was fun. Now, I was playing on PC. I think it'll probably run a lot better on my Xbox than it was on my PC. Yeah. So I'll probably try it out, but yeah, Titanfall.
Yep,
killing people.
Speaking of
people
large
with robots.
behemoth things, not mechanical, but organic, the last weekend was the Evolve beta on the Xbox One. And I had a chance to play through several matches of that, and my impressions were changed a lot, but I don't necessarily know if they were changed to enough to make me want to really go out and buy that game, but that's something that I want to talk about. Because
changed from what? Changed from your earlier alpha impressions?
From my earlier alpha. Because when I played the alpha, I was like, this is really cool core gameplay. This would make a really great $20 downloadable game. However, this is not a $20 downloadable game. It is a $60 full retail game. So that was very discouraging. A lot of people were discouraged that they were like, oh, is this all there is to it? Like, you just hunt these monsters? But one thing that a lot of people didn't consider in the alpha and even in the beta is that there are, I believe, 3 of each of the 4 character classes. That's 12 playable human characters and then 4 playable monsters. So that's pretty interesting. I mean,
well, and there's also different game modes, and there's
now
like
that's
the
thing the beta
player
introduced was a new game mode called Extraction, and it was way better than the hunt mode. The hunt mode is great for showing off the concept, but Extraction was really the that's the game. I could see it being. So basically the way Extraction works is you have you go through a series of maps. So like you go through, I think it's like a collection of 5 different maps, and the maps are semi-randomized, and I think you actually get to pick between 2, but the each map has a different point, so that some of them are hunt, where it's the traditional hunt gameplay. Some of them are extraction, where you have to get people, you have to escort colonists to a drop zone. Some of them are nest, where the monster has to protect their nest and try and grow creatures to help them. So there's a variety of game modes that's randomized across the random maps. And what's really cool about this game mode is whoever wins the match, whoever wins gets a bonus in the next match. So, for example, you may be at a power plant, you're trying to hunt the monster. Well, if the monster wipes out the hunters, then next game the monster has or maybe the wildlife is more aggressive toward the humans. Whereas if the humans win, then they get the power generator back online, and that brings turrets online, which will shoot at the monster and reveal its position. So it's really got an interesting dynamic, and all of this stuff is randomized. So it's the combinations are kind of infinite as far as what experiences you can have. And I was having a lot more fun playing that than I did just the hunt mode.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Actually, I didn't know about the that specific feature of them, if you win, that rolling over into the other game. I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, and it was fun to see. You're like, ooh, man, I was able to protect, this thing. Like, what do I get now? Oh, that's awesome. The colonists will actually help me fight now. So there was one round where, the colonists were running out with us to hunt this guy down. So it was really interesting to play that. I didn't get to play as the monster, but just for a little bit. The 2 things I'll say, this gets into a different discussion, but I don't think that...
Which monster did you play as?
The Goliath.
Was that the only one in the
No,
beta?
there was another one. I cannot remember what it's called.
Was it the Kraken?
It teleported. That's all I know, because every time I would find it, it would just be like zoop zoop zoop, and it would be gone. And basically, we could never get to it. It was the floaty thing. So, big like floaty tentacle thing. But anyways, or no, it wasn't floaty. It was a stealth dude. Like he would jump on you like a hunter from Left 4 Dead. Like he would jump.
Yeah,
on top
I think
of you.
I have the mental image. I forget what it's called, but I know which one you're talking about.
But yeah, so you have to play to unlock the new classes. So you had to play as the Brute or Goliath, whatever it's called. You had to play as that to get to the next creature. But the catch is I never got paired as the monster. I think most people were wanting to try the monster, so most people had it picked as their primary. So it was kind of one of those, kind of missed out there. But I have to say that the game was fun, but I honestly was more excited about the game before I played it. I feel like if I were a scummy marketing person, like I would try and get this game to market without much like review time. Like I would want people to just buy it because the concept sounds so much fun. But when you play it, it's even with the evacuation mode, it's still really hard pressed to be like, man, this is like, I could see myself doing this for more than 5 hours, which honestly, I played the game for maybe about 2 hours, and at this point, like my palate is satisfied. I don't really desire to play it anymore, even though I just don't.
It might just not be for you then. I mean, I know Left 4 Dead.
And I realize that
it's a lot like Left 4 Dead, which isn't surprising.
But see, I love Left 4 Dead.
It's the same. So yeah, you can play Left 4 Dead for hours, but it's kind of like just the same old thing. You have a group of people, you shoot zombies, you get from point A to point B. But I played Left 4 Dead 1 for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, the big difference here lies in the fact that, like, the core gameplay, you have to, like, in order for your team to even have a chance, you have to be 4 completely synced up individuals, like totally in sync. Now, given I ran into 2 people the entire beta that had microphones, so you can tell how most of my games went based on that. People did not communicate. People didn't do common sense, like healers would not heal. Trappers would not use their ability, like the dome shield, which is key to trapping the monster. They would not use it. They would just shoot. Soldiers would not use they have like a charge beam that does a lot of damage, but then they also have an assault rifle. People wouldn't use the charge beam. They would just use the assault rifle because of the range. So it was just about every match I lost. The only one that I didn't lose was the monster. I could tell was his first game. He didn't know how to play really, but that was not fun. That was not fun that I have to rely on 3 teammates, and it falls into the same category.
Well, that's any cooperative game, though. I mean, Left 4 Dead, I'm pretty sure I lost the vast majority of time at Left 4 Dead. Unless I was playing with 4 people that I knew and I could, like, talk to.
Well, I think it's just
with
talking.
Random people,
like, it's just people who are, like, so many times people on console don't have that headset plugged in. And that, for games like this, it really hurts you. Like, I remember playing Borderlands, and even if you don't have your headset, like, people know what to do. Like, they shoot the bad guys. Like, that's pretty straightforward. And I'm not saying that I want them to dumb the game down. It was just really frustrating to, like I would be the assault person, so I am the damage dealer, but I can't deal damage. Like, that charge beam, I have to be pretty close. I can't deal damage if that creature just keeps running, especially that teleporter dude, because he can just go shoot, and then he's way out of range. I would be hot on the monster's heels, and 2 guys would be in the background, like, getting killed by wildlife. So it was just like, it was very much like a beta. Everyone was kind of a newbie, but it was kind of frustrating. I could see it. If you're playing it by yourself, you're probably not going to get a really good experience unless you play as the monster. Like, that's it.
Well, yeah, and I think that's kind of the idea. I think the idea is monster is for, like, the solo player, whereas if you have a group of a couple of friends, you play as the hunters, so you can
and it
work
works
together
in practice. But what happens when there's more people who want to be the monster than want to be the hunters? Then you just get plopped. Like, that's what happened. I had monster picked as my number 1 priority the whole time, and I got to play as monster once. And as soon as I got in there, all the humans left, and then I just had to leave basically. So hopefully they have some kind of checks and balances for that.
Kinks.
But I think there's going to be a lot more people want to play the monster than there are going to be humans. They've got to figure out a way to balance that if they really want that experience to last. But we'll see. It comes out pretty soon, I believe in February sometime. So We'll see. As of now, I feel like I've got my fill of it. And unless something major changes, I probably won't pick it up. But if you like playing games with your buddies, and you guys want to roll something that like you feel good about cooperating, when it works, when you cooperate and take down a monster, it would be extremely fulfilling because you work together, like you really were a team and you took that thing down. So.
Yeah, I played the earlier beta, the one like before maybe the alpha. I don't know.
I think that was the big alpha or whatever.
Whatever one, yeah, the big alpha. I played that, and it was fun. I've only played a handful of matches, but it was a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll buy it. I'm just not super big on cooperative stuff. I'm more of a competitive guy. Now, I would be the person that played the monster nonstop. That's what I would do if I got that game.
You think you would, but you would
I would want to. I would try to play the monster most of the time, just because that's I think what I would like to do more. But yeah, we'll see.
You can say you like crushing the dreams of people who work together. Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I think it'll probably be pretty well received, and I think like on PC. I think the PC community will probably pick that up pretty strong. I think that'll be a game that the PC fans will enjoy and latch on to because, Left 4 Dead had its home on PC, and there's still lots of people playing Left 4 Dead to this day. So
yeah, Turtle Rock is great. They basically were pioneers as far as like revolutionizing co-op. So, Turtle Rock Studios, I feel like if anyone can get this right, they can. There's a lot more content there than there might have been. But really the best thing I would say is encourage people to, play it. If you've missed the beta, then, unfortunately you can't. But like, if you get a chance to play it just to feel, because I feel like it's something you're either going to love or you're not going to love. And the only way to find out is to try it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, So that kind of covered a lot of the things that we've been playing this week. If you go to the YouTube channel, we also started playing and this is actually a teaser, actually. We haven't uploaded these yet, but I started playing Super Metroid for the first time. Also played Resident Evil, the original one, for the first time. So technically I played those this week.
Yeah.
But those are all Let's Plays, so you'll actually get to see our experience of playing those. Both of those games I had a lot of fun playing, and it's actually kind of frustrates me that I'm waiting, I'm waiting till we can get back together so that I can finish playing them, but both of them are so much fun. So definitely head over to the YouTube channel and you can check out those Let's Plays. But
we also played some Nidhogg.
We played some Nidhogg, which that should be going up next week. So Nidhogg was fun, and Super Smash Brothers, we played some of that. We already have some footage of that on the YouTube channel, setting up the Bowser amiibo and all that stuff. So head over there and you can check that out. But speaking of video and capturing pictures of oneself, World of Warcraft did a thing this week, or announced a thing. I believe it's called the selfie, like acronym, like selfie camera.
Yeah, I don't know what it stands for.
Who knows? We'll find out.
Now, yeah, I read about this. Now, they didn't really announce it so much as it was lurking within the public test realm patch.
Yep.
That just went live. And now, in the patch notes, you can actually read that they're adding Twitter functionality to World of Warcraft.
Notes, the World of Warcraft patch notes.
The World of Warcraft patch notes, yes. They're actually adding Twitter functionality, so you can link your World of Warcraft account with Twitter, and you can send out links to items, and you're going to be able to tweet out screenshots and stuff. So there's, the special item.
What's happening?
Which is the selfie camera. You can get it from doing like a garrison mission. And then, basically you just take selfies. It automatically takes screenshots for you. When you use it, your character makes, derpy selfie faces.
Oh my god, guys, let's take a selfie with Deathwing's body.
I know, see, and that's what it's going to be. And I think but I honestly, as silly as it sounds, I think that's actually really cool.
Oh, I honestly, whenever we inevitably resub to WoW, I will go and take a selfie on the Frozen Throne, hands down, and that will probably be a profile picture for a short time.
But yeah, because it's cool, because the thing with those games, with MMOs, is you want to show off your achievements. You want to show off your character and the gear you've gotten.
Yep.
And, what better way than blasting it out to Twitter? Or, taking pictures with your guildmates and all of that kind of stuff. I think that it'll see a lot of use. So that's actually really interesting, though, that they're adding that. It's kind of like this weird real world and fantasy world collide.
Hey, there you go. If whatever works, man.
I don't know when that's actually going to be. That patch is going to be live, though. Like I said, it is on the test realm right now. So it will be a while. Knows? Yeah, it'll be a while before that comes public on all the servers. But
so, Nintendo, good old Nintendo, did some more things yesterday. And they revealed their YouTube monetization policies now. Basically, if you have a channel, an entire channel dedicated to Nintendo, you're eligible for a 70% cut of the profits from the ad revenue. If it's just a single video, you're eligible for 60% of those profits.
That sounds like a good deal.
It sounds like a good deal, except
not really. I was being kind of sarcastic.
Every
it sounds
other
like
video
a not
game
that good
company
deal.
is basically not doing this bullcrap. And also the fact that they basically pick and choose which games are eligible for this. Well, let me tell you 3 that are not. That would be Bayonetta 2, Super Smash Brothers, and oh man, the third one escapes me.
Wait, what do you mean eligible?
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything about this, so I don't know. What does that mean?
The list of games that are eligible to be submitted to Nintendo for review. So, because basically what you do is you submit the video to Nintendo, they review it and they approve it. Then you're able to put it online without getting without getting a copyright strike. Then, 2 to 3 months later, when that ad revenue actually rolls in, it goes to Nintendo, they get their cut, and then they send it to you a couple weeks later. So you're not even seeing your money for about 3 or 4 months. And then they're getting a cut of it, and on top of that, they have a list of games that are eligible, and they're being very vague about is this the only games that you can submit for that? But Super Smash Brothers and Bayonetta 2 are not on there, which I would argue are the 2 most important games from Nintendo right now. So all in all, that entire deal is crap.
Well, it sounds like current games. It sounds like current games they don't want people streaming, which kind of makes sense.
No, because that makes no sense, because the current games are the ones you're trying to sell to people, and people go to the YouTubes to find out about the games.
Well, but Nintendo's philosophy is, and we've seen this time and time again, which I'm not saying this is necessarily a correct philosophy, but their philosophy is that if you're watching the whole game on YouTube, you're not going to go buy the game yourself. It's the same reason they don't put...
from 2006.
It's the same reason they don't put Mario on cell phones, because if you can get Mario on the cell phone, then you're not going to buy a DS. That's how they view things. I think that's pretty dumb, but I'm more concerned about this whole review process where you have to submit videos to...
Yeah, because reviews are part of that as well. And if you're not an approved media channel, then basically you are subject to the exact same processes, even if it's a review of the game. So let me go ahead.
So like, what happens if they don't, like, if you don't like it, or basically, from what I understand, it's kind of like, it sounds like they're kind of trying to review and make sure people aren't portraying the game in like a way it's not. Nintendo wouldn't like it to be portrayed like they want to make sure Nintendo games are on brand, so to speak, and are being portrayed on brand.
I am very sorry to break this to you, Nintendo. However, that is 110% dumb and completely that is the most non-user-friendly thing ever. You cannot control the media about a brand. Like, you can't strong-arm that. This is the age of social media. I will tweet, I will talk about it however much I want, and you using copyright as a shield to protect yourself from negative press. The thing is Nintendo, the negative press it gets is not like Nintendo's the worst company in the world. No, it is. Okay,
it remains to be seen if they are gonna abuse this for that. Like, under the way it's written, potentially, because every video is submitted to them for review, so they authorize it to go up or whatever. Potentially if it was a negative critique or something like that, Nintendo could say, hey, we don't like the content of your video. We're not going to give you permission to use it.
That's dumb, and that's censorship, and that shit needs to change now.
Well, so it has the potential for that. Now, obviously, this is not in effect really yet, I guess. So we don't know how Nintendo is really using it, or if they would be willing to push it that far. But
well, up to now, you just haven't had a choice. The ad revenue goes to YouTube or goes to Nintendo. Period. Like you don't.
Well, yeah. So this is their attempt to try and find some middle ground, which I think which is what people want. It's just these weird Nintendo kind of review policies are what is throwing everybody for a loop. It's honestly, one thing to get a cut of the money. It's another to be able to judge content and whether or not it's worthy of Nintendo,
Yeah. Honestly, if you choose not to release the new Nintendo 3DS, in the United States, that's your own weird-ass decision. That's fine. But the fact that a company who controls an intellectual property that is based on the releases are based on the quality of that product, the fact that they are even given the power to limit that or the monetization of that, which is basically limiting that industry, is absurd. And if you did it in any other industry, it would just literally be shot down in not even 5 nanoseconds. It would be an instantaneous turnoff for the entire community. And a lot of YouTubers have already blown up about it. So you could probably just go search Nintendo copyright and find all kinds of rants about it. This one will maybe sort of join that. But all in all, Nintendo, I know my New Year's resolution was not to be hard on you, but for this one, get your shit together. It's 2014. This is the new age of media. It's all about brand management, not brand masking, where you just hide the content that you don't want people to get. You are unique in that you always consistently produce good games. People don't talk about how clunky or horrible Nintendo games are. They offer critique about the way you run your business, and the fact that you are getting literally butthurt by the fact that people can do that is the most ridiculous notion known to man. And it's gonna kill you, because a ton of YouTubers have already basically boycotted Nintendo, which that, may or may not have an effect on them at all. But it's just really dumb that this company keeps throwing antiquated mindsets at an industry that is changing all the time. And it's just freaking annoying how they seem to think they get away with all of this stuff all the time. But
we know Nintendo does not like to embrace new technology or new ways of thinking. We definitely know that much over the years.
It's one of those things where, I don't think Nintendo will ever, it's not like they're going to be filing bankruptcy or anything, but they're losing that hardcore audience that has carried Nintendo through thick and thin. They're losing them because that is the same audience of people who want to go online and find out about games beforehand. People will buy your stuff after they watch it on YouTube. There's no substantial data to disprove that. And so the fact that they're we just want to be safe, so we're gonna fucking censor everyone. That is bullshit, and you need to change that right now.
Now the program is in beta, which I guess means it's subject to change.
Yeah, subject to change from Nintendo.
We'll see if any tweaks come, or maybe Nintendo will listen to some of the feedback, but who knows at this point. I mean, it's bizarre. It's really bizarre. Like I said, I think that you're coming in with good intentions and be we agree that, people are going to stream our games, people are going to put Let's Plays on YouTube. We need to be able to, give them a way to, profit from this, to make this worth their while. So we'll cut a deal. It's not the financial part that I think is the problem, really. It's just that, it's specifically the Nintendo review part, which is very, 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 very strange.
Well,
and like I said, I can't think of an example of any other company who has ever tried to do something like that.
Nobody has. No
every
one's
video made about a movie or something like that, like going to the movie studio for approval. That doesn't make a lick of sense on any level.
Nope. And it's one of those things that for Nintendo, it just shows it shows the mindset that they have, that they're not probably going to change that. So, I mean, take it as it is, but they're gonna feel the burn from the community because of it. But when you say it's not about financials, it's 100% about financials. Nothing's stopping you from making that content, but they're going to claim all the revenue from it. And at the end of the day, everything, even video game.
Well, they're not claiming all the revenue now. They were claiming all the revenue.
They were, but the fact of the matter is that entire industry, whether you like it or not, it has to have that revenue there to be, to provide the fuel that lets game journalism work. And when you remove that for your entire brand, you are basically snuffing out the industry, and that's not good, man. That's not good. No bueno.
Well, yeah, I mean, I read that some like video game websites wouldn't be like a lot of places. They'll have their own video players, but they'll also post their content to YouTube. I've read that some of those sites will no longer be putting their Nintendo related videos on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, we had this discussion earlier today. You sent me the link to this news story that happened, and immediately, I was thinking, because originally today on YouTube, I was going to have the Nidhogg Let's Play go up, and then more Smash next weekend, or next Monday, but now I'm really hesitant to start putting more Smash, because we got away with it the first one, because it was like 2 matches at the end of the video. But what if we upload an entire video of Smash? I don't want to risk our, channel in its infancy. So already, Nintendo, you are discouraging, we know we don't have much reach right now, but you're discouraging people from putting your content up out of fear. I will put up more episodes of someone else's game that other people can stumble across and enjoy. So, whatever, man. Whatever. End rant.
I don't know, though. I mean, Nintendo's gonna Nintendo. That's how it is. That's how it will always be.
There's your hashtag for the week. Nintendo gonna Nintendo.
Yeah, we'll just see. I mean, we'll see if they change. But yeah, do you think our Nintendo rant is a good way to close out the podcast?
I think that's okay. Let me just run through some other things, because there was some other interesting things that happened this week. But long story short, I want to mention this because I think it's important. But we need a palate cleanser too. I don't want to end on this. So the Ghostbusters cast for the new Ghostbusters film was revealed. The all-female Ghostbusters film that was released. It's Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon. So those are 4 extremely talented actresses, and I think that this new direction for that is going to be really interesting. But earlier in the show, we need to talk about this. This will be the good palate cleanser. Earlier in the show, I said today's episode is brought to you in part by Dinosaurs. And
yes, what does that mean?
What does that mean? That means that this was a great week for dinosaurs. Let me explain why. First, Lego Jurassic World is happening. That
sounds awesome.
Is going to be amazing. Now, it's not just the Jurassic World, the new film. It's going to actually go back through the last 3 films, and you're going to be able to play through them. I can't wait.
Are you telling me I can be Lego Ian Malcolm? I can be... Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I can be Lego Jeff Goldblum.
Yep, Jeff Goldblum. You can Mr. DNA. I'm sure will be there.
Can I be Mr. DNA?
Yep.
Lego Mr. DNA?
I hope so. I can't wait to play the. I'm going to call it the Raptor Kitchen. That level will be fun.
Oh yeah, dude.
And that's going to be a really cool game. Yeah, they announced yesterday that Lego, basically Lego Jurassic World and Lego Avengers are coming. So they've already done Marvel Lego, but now they're focusing more on Avengers, and I think it's supposed to include both Avengers films in that. So if you like Lego games, there you go. You're set and ready to rock and roll for the next few months at least. But also, this is the big news, guys. This is the headline for this week. Dino D-Day, the critically acclaimed, award-winning, not actually, game on Steam, Dino D-Day, is 90% off, which makes it 99 American cents. So
go buy it right now.
Literally, for the exact same price you can get a bird-flinging game, you can purchase the World War II Dinosaur Simulator. Go get it now. It is so much fun. They're having a free weekend this weekend, so you can go try it out for free on Steam. But don't just do that. Just go ahead and buy the game for 99 cents because it is super duper fun.
Yeah, we probably played... Now, we play a lot of Day of Defeat Source, which was for a while our go-to PC shooter.
And then we said, you know what? I wish this game had dinosaurs. And then Dino D-Day came out.
And then we bought Dino D-Day, and that's what we play. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely worth freaking 99 cents.
Yes.
Dear God. Just buy the game.
Yes, go get it.
Just buy the game.
We'll play it. In fact, we're going to stream it. We're going to stream it at least this weekend. Maybe
that's probably actually going to be the only game we stream.
That might be it. So head over to twitch.tv/fanboyexplosion. Go ahead and follow our channel so you can get notified when we go live. But we'll probably stream it many of the nights, especially through this weekend, because I don't have anything to do this weekend, so I'm going to be hitting.
I mean, the only question you need to ask yourself is, would I like to play as a Tyrannosaurus Rex with 50 caliber machine guns mounted to my face? And
yes.
If your answer is yes, then you should spend 99 cents to get Dino D-Day.
Yes. Playable character, not DLC, including another of my favorites is the exploding compy, just known as compy. But basically, if you don't know what a compysaurus is, it is a very small carnivorous kind of...
It's those dinosaurs that were at the beginning of Lost World.
Exactly, yeah, the little tiny ones that just, run in little packs. Basically, it's one of those with a German grenade strapped to its side, and it nibbles you to death, and the more it nibbles, the stronger the grenade gets, and then when you click a button, it explodes in true kamikaze style, and that's how you wipe entire enemy teams. So there you go. Go get that.
It's beautiful.
World War II. Anti-air guns mounted to the backs of dinosaurs.
Nazi dinosaurs.
So that was kind of the list of all the big news bits that happened this week. But there's as far as one thing we want to start doing on the patch notes is kind of going over games that will be coming out next week. There's a lot of games always coming out, especially with Steam and Greenlight and whatnot. But we'll try and pick out the ones that you might want to try, ones that we know something about. But this week specifically, actually yesterday on Thursday, Metroid Prime Trilogy came out as a Wii game that's playable on Wii U. It's a downloadable game. It is downloading on mine right now. I never got a chance to play this. Apparently this was a very rare game to find because they only printed so many copies, and so the resale market was like $50 for the game. So this is a great chance to play that if you never have, like I haven't. So go check that out. And given this is the last podcast of January, the next time, or the last patch notes, the next time we're here, we'll have new games for gold on Xbox, which February's games for gold game is going to be called IDARB. There's a lot of press around this. I've heard it's like a fighter style game with a little bit of roots in Super Smash Brothers.
What?
So we will probably need to check that out. We might even stream it if it's fun, but I've heard it has some really weird mechanics. It ties into Twitter. So you can literally, people who are watching you play on a stream could theoretically hashtag bomb you. So
what? That sounds okay. Yeah, I think we definitely need to play this.
It's got a character creator, and it's like a 32-bit fighter game. So, and you create your own character or whatever. So it sounds really interesting. It's going to be free for all Xbox Live Gold members. So we'll be able to enjoy that next week. So those are the kind of big game announcements that we know of coming up. And to finish up, I wanted to share a fun fact I learned today. It was via a Reddit user. I did not write his name down, so I apologize for that. But it is a fun fact about the horror film Silence of the Lambs. So classic horror film. And one of the kind of keystone lines for that was when Hannibal Lecter says, I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice chete. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. It is a wine. But it's a very demented kind of moment where he's talking about he basically ate a person, and found out that the illness that Hannibal Lecter suffers from can actually be treated with drugs. I'm going to try and pronounce this here. Monoamine oxidase inhibitors, or MAOIs for short. And basically this medicine treats the condition that he has. But when you take this medicine, you cannot eat liver, beans, or you can't drink wine. Those are two foods in one drink you can't eat. So basically he's making a medical joke about how he's not taking his medicine.
Oh, wow.
Totally went over my head.
That's really deep.
That's part of why that movie's a masterpiece of horror, I think, and it just increased my love for the film even more. But yeah, he's apparently making a doctor's joke, which that's why most people missed it, because most of us are not doctors. So there you go. There's your fun fact for the week.
That is definitely a very, 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 very obscure fun fact.
It is. So, is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we wrap up the patch notes?
No, I think that about wraps it up. Just be sure to follow us on Twitter.
Follow that Twitter at Fanboy Explosion. If you've got, we really want questions, guys. Send us questions and feedback. You can send them. You could send them on Twitter at Fanboy Explosion. But if you need more than 140 characters, or you want it to be private, send it to fanboyexplosion@gmail.com. We check that email multiple times a day, so send us some questions. We will answer them. Again, go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/fanboyexplosion. We got stuff going up almost every day. Subscribe on iTunes, which hopefully that's how you're listening to this podcast. But if not, you can always go subscribe there. Fanboyexplosion.com has all of our content aggregated for you. And then if you want to follow me personally, I'm at Darth Turner.
And you can follow me at CLK Gamer.
Boom. So come follow us on Twitter, and make sure to tune into all of our different channels so that you can get all of the content, or just visit fanboyexplosion.com and get it all delivered right there. So once again, thanks for joining us for the patch notes. You have a great week, and we'll see you next time.